Excuse me, guys. So, good morning, guys. Welcome back to yet another video. You join me on a pretty windy day. You can see the trees in the background. They're all moving. And we're going to start mowing our second clamp of silage. So, put the tractor and the mowers on. It's a perfect mowing day. It's been raining most of the morning. Obviously, I'm joking, but it has been raining. But we think the rain's pushed through and it's going to be dry now until mid-afternoon tomorrow. So they cut it now, turn it straight out, and then we're going to try and pick it up before the rain comes in tomorrow afternoon. It's really windy, so as soon as it's cut, it will start drying. Craig's going to come and tet it out. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it all goes to plan. We've got the tractor and mowers. I'm going to fold the sides down and we'll get mowing. You guys know the drill. And then hopefully later on, once we finish mowing, we're going to go and pick up a trailer off of a friend of mine called Luke, where we take our plastic to be recycled. They're going to lend us a trailer for doing some silage tomorrow because we've got to take it to the other farm. And then Luke's going to come and help us dray silage later in the week when we do the farm pit. So without further ado, we will get mowing. The grass that we are cutting here today is destined for our green clamp over on the research farm at Rowden. We have, for anyone that's new, we have green, brown and blue clamps. We have green, brown, blue animals in green, brown and blue sheds. So we do 3 different cuts for 3 different groups of cows, 3 different sheds. So this is the green. We've done the browns already, and the blues will be slightly later because they are on a herbal mix of grass, and it's just it never grows so well in the early season, or this early in the season, so it's always a bit later before we take that cut. We have previously done it all at the same time, but we're really trying to concentrate this year on quality of grass. So we've done the brown because that was ready to cut. This green grass is probably, you'd want it to bulk up a bit more really. I had a bit of an issue with the fert spinner in it when that came new, so we got sort of bits that are really good and bits that aren't quite so good. But it's not gone to seed yet. It's really nice and leafy, so we're going to take it now and cut it. And then at the end of this week we're going to do the farm cut. So that's bits of grass everywhere. We've got some grass over near the research farm, and then we've got 2 away blocks of ground that we've got to go and cut grass on as well. So there'll be a couple of days of draining silage at the end of the week. So I'm cutting the field I'm in now, the one just behind me there, which is quite handy because it allowed me to set up a quick line on the guidance page along the fence line that splits the 2 fields, because that one is dead straight. It then means that the same line I'm using now I can use next door from my water steer. Makes the job nice and easy. Right, first field is done. I'm going to have to fold up the sides of the mowers, unfortunately, to get through the gateway here. We've got like a little corral type thing here between the 2 fields. So there's a set of gates so we can hold cattle or sheep here if we want to for any reason. So we need to push this one open that way. It's almost like that was made for there. Alright, there's the old girl. The dog's just doing a bit of crop walking, making sure it's all ready to cut. Well, that bit will grow well after we cut it. A little look at the blades. They all look alright. A little look at the blades. They all look alright. So we've just got to fold these 2 up. As soon as we get through next door, I've got to let them down again, but we'll crack on with the mowing. It's going nicely so far, I would say. Considering it was raining when we cut it, it's not actually wet. It's wet underneath there, look. But I expect Craig will give it an hour. After dinner, that'll be dry on top. He'll come out and shake it all about with the turner. And with this wind, you can see the wind blowing through it. That'll dry it out really nice. Other than a few docks which spoil it, it's all, look at that, it's all leaf. No seed head or nothing. Nice one. heard the saying that all the best farmers cut silage in the rain, because we had a nice bright dry spell there for a minute and the wind was picking up, but if I turn the camera around, we got rain. It's not proper rain, it's just a bit of misty air, but it won't do this no harm. We're all singing and dancing on the auto steer again now, so we'll sit back and relax. Having to go a bit slower in this field just because the crops are heavy over there. Going up that hill makes the tractor work a bit, but as long as that number there stays below 100, I'm not too worried. I'm knocking a hole in it. Gus is down there keeping an eye. We've got Gus cam today as well. You see a bit of what Gus can see. Yeah. Hopefully the sun will come out in a minute. Going back to what I was saying about the brown, blue and green silage clamps, the way it works is we've got 3 different areas of ground here at Northwick, so 3 50-acre or 20-hectare blocks of ground that are divvied up into brown, blue, green. The brown area is now arable because the brown animals stay inside and they get finished indoors, whereas the other 2 groups will go in at winter after they're weaned off their mothers and then come back out and finish on grazing. So that's where our oats are. There's 50 acres of oats. The other 2 blocks, they'll support 30 grazing animals in cattle and 75 ewes and their lambs. And then the cattle and the lambs are finished on those blocks of ground. That's the way it should work in theory. So the silage that we're making today on the green block will go in the green clamp over Rowden, and then when we do a second cut we'll make bales that will stay back here to feed the green and blue sheep throughout the winter, because they stay here on the Northwick farm. All sounds very complicated, but it is, you know, once you see it in practice, it is pretty simple. It then has the full circle effect, whereby the dung that is created in winter in the farm platform sheds on the green shed, for example, will be spread on the green platform area that we cut for silage, or that we graze on. It will be spread somewhere on the green platform, and same with the blue area will get blue dung from the blue sheds. Really brief overview of what we see from the farm side of it. The green area is permanent pasture, and there is always a better uptake of grass in the spring. It gets away quicker, but the animals don't do as well on the silage over the winter in the sheds. Whereas the blue ground, that grass is never there in the spring. You know, you're almost waiting and waiting and waiting to turn out cattle to it, and the silage takes a long time to get ready to cut. But once it's there, it is like rocket fuel in the spring, in the winter. Those animals do really, really well on their silage. Right guys, just finished knocking down the 2 fields here beside each other. Got one little paddock to go and do down the track, and then we'll be done with the mowing. We'll drop the mowers off then, and then I'll give Luke a shout and hopefully go and pick up his trailer. So I'll show you how the mowers come off, because I don't think I've ever shown that before. I've gone really dark now for some reason. So we'll do that. There's a couple of little things you've got to remember taking off these mowers, just to make them easy to hook up the next time you want to use them. So we'll do that. Go and get Luke's trailer, and that'll be us for the day. Right, all folded up, finished mowing. That was probably the best field of grass in there that we had. Cows even came to say hello, look. Now if I sneak out of this gateway, I was going to go back and tell the guys that they want to limbing up a bit so they can get the forager in easy. But sneak around the corner. Look at this bunch of hoodlums. Bowman and LeGrice doing some tree work. These trees, just because we haven't foraged this one in a couple of years, trees are growing out over the gateway a bit, and just needs squaring up so Craig can get the forager in without damaging it. Bowman and LeGrice here carrying out a bit of unplanned tree work.
And unplanned chainsaw maintenance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I didn't want to do this.
that wasn't part of the day.
No.
I was going to come back and say that bit ought to be limbed up. I didn't think about all this, but...
No, I didn't really think about it until we came down. I was like, oh, that's going to be a pain.
Right, they borrowed me tools. Go back in my toolbox. Go and drop the mowers off now. Hello Gus, how is it? Right, back to what we were doing. Right, so we're back in the silage pit. We're going to knock off these mowers. I'll leave them here. I'm going to pick them up again Thursday. They are a bit grubby and they could really do with a clean, but hopefully when it's dry on Thursday when we cut grass, that'll clean them up a bit. So yeah, I'll walk you through taking them off the tractor. First thing that's really important with this rear mower is that you unhook this chain. The other end of that sits on the end of that spring there, and that is like your tension when you're mowing. That's a bed up and down level. So you have to unhook that when it's up in the air. Otherwise, unhooking this goes terribly wrong and you can never get it back on the tractor. The second thing we need to do is release the stand, which is down there. Now, this is the stand that I really hurt my thumb on, so I'm always a bit careful around it now. Get rid of all this grass. So my thumb, when I hurt it, got caught between there and there. So normally with a pick, that'll let that down. That sits back in there, and then when you let it down, it sits on that groove. Put a little bit of wood underneath. Pins off the balls, so then it can drop it. I need 2 hands for this bit now. Right, that is now off. These arms you quite often have to kick down with your foot just because they are so tight to stop the thing wobbling when you're on the road. I have a little block of wood underneath the stand to stop it tipping forwards. It's easy with the hydraulic toggling because you can adjust this from the buttons on the back of the tractor here. Power shaft's got a little hook that it lives on, so that keeps that one happy. We've got 2 hydraulic hoses. As long as that chain's off, it's all fairly easy. Right, onto the front mower. First thing you do, you let the mower down, you've got to put it in float so that the bed is on the floor and there's no pressure on the hydraulic pipe there. You then put these little things forwards so that when you let the mower down, that will sit in underneath there and stop it all falling over. Around the other side, there's a stand here to take that off. We put that stand down on the floor. Slapped off the top link so we can take the weight off of that. Pulled the hydraulic pipe out from in there, that was in float so it comes out easy. So all we do now is using these buttons on the side here, let the front arms down, they'll release the A-frame. So all I do now is, once I've backed out, put those arms up out the way, and that's us dropped off. You might be able to see behind us, John is just there hooking up trailer. I dropped him up here to pick up his tractor because that's been up here spreading dung. We're now going to head over to Pierce's yard and pick up one of their trailers. Now, their trailers are all massive, so we're going to try and find the smallest one of their trailers, just because our lanes are quite narrow and whatever. So we'll mosey on up their yard, find ourselves a trailer. Oh, look at this thing. I expect this is locked, is it? Oh. You've got about 15 steps to get up in it. Oh, smells nice in here, sir. Look at this. Got his Morrison's bag. God. I'll take it. That's half a house on the back. That's too big, isn't it? Have you taken it out yet? Yeah. Get alright with it? Yeah. The 18 ton. Yeah. If you put this on that big trailer, you wouldn't get anywhere.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, I can't now. Look at the size of the front linkage. Giddy on. That's enormous. That's like the same size as my back tyre.
It nearly is, yeah. There's the mowers over there.
Oh, I got all the gear in it. What else that then? New edge trim, is it?
2 years old.
Oh, that's new then. Drill. Have you used them this year?
Yeah, this week apparently.
This week. I like the mirrors on the front.
Yeah, it's good to go on the road.
Mm.
Yeah, we're going on the floor.
Jump up in him. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps. He's got a hoover attachment and he's got a hoover in it.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness me. I'd be scared to drive this thing. This is enormous. It's nice though because there's no big thing here.
Yeah, it's nice.
Oh. Goodness me. Yeah, order me one up. You got foot pegs. You got a leather passenger seat.
Yeah, there's a massaging seat in there. Open up that armrest. Or the armrest behind your back there.
That one?
No, put it down like your armrest.
Oh, that one?
Yeah. And flick it open. Like a massaging seat in that one.
That's mad. I can't believe he gets round anywhere with it.
Yeah, he does, to be fair.
That's enormous.
Goes everywhere the rest do.
I do like the Command Pro. We're going to have to get one. Just look at the size of this trailer. It is massive. And that's one of the small ones they got in their yard. That is huge. I look forward to using that tomorrow, but that is it's huge. Let's have a look at it. So it's a Roland 2232, whatever that means. Does that mean it's 22 foot long? I don't know. Someone's going to have to tell me what that means. These are enormous. 560 by 60 R22.5s. Huge, great tyres. We checked all the pressures on them before we left Luke Yard, so they're all good. It's even got a nice little toolbox on the side of it. So yeah, air, back door, tipping body, and then these cables here are your lights, and then it's got one inside for a reversing light on the back, and also a camera. Just there, look, spare X camera. Now I haven't got the right cable to link that up to my John Deere screen, but you can get them fairly cheap, so I might have a look online later. Nice and clean inside. It was on grass last time, Luke said, so good to go. Look at it, tractor, trailer. Go. Anyway, I'm going to back it in the shed next to the forager. John's just cleaning out the Fleming, so that had dung in it last, so that one needs washing out before we can use it tomorrow. And tomorrow we will be go, go, go. So this thing has a cable here that you plug in if you have the right other end of it, and the camera will come up on the screen. But I haven't got one. So I'm going to do some research into getting one. I do. Tucked away nicely. Whew. Right. It's nearly the day done, I reckon. Right, we're going to leave John washing out that trailer. He'll got that one all ready for the morning, so we can use him. I'm going to head home. I need some dinner. I've not stopped for lunch today, so I am starving. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Loads more Silage content coming up soon. Follow the links in the description if you want to see any more of my social media. There's Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, you name it, it's down there. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in another video very soon. Cheerio.